Hey, so yesterday we started to dive into division, and I think that division is super important for fourth, fifth, and the rest of school. So let's continue our look into division. So, yesterday, I believe what we saw is how division and multiplication are related. So we started with 8 with 64 divided by 8. That would be how we read this. And 64 divided by 8 is 8. And the reason why 64 divided by 8 is 8 is because 8 times 8 is 64. And you remember I kept saying that when you subtract these, you get 0. And that means you don't have a remainder. But, however, what if that number isn't 0? Well, that's what we're going to look at today. So, we got the basics. Some number divided by a one-digit number with no remainder. So we're going to step it up a notch, and we're going to look at what happens when we do have a remainder. So if we have a number like, let's start small, 4 divided into, we can also say divide into, 18. So this is where I believe that writing the multiplication tables will help tremendously. Alright, so I stopped at 5, and the reason I stopped at 5, as you can see that, the reason I stopped at 5 is because I know what I'm looking for. But if you want to go all the way to 9, then that would be fine. That's completely your choice. So 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. And 5 times 4 is 20. Now, the reason I stopped at 5, which you'll see momentarily, is because 5 times 4 equals 20. And 20 is bigger than what we have under our house, which is 18. So we can't have a number that's bigger than 18. So that means we have to go from 5 to the one before it, which is 4. And as you can see, 4 times 4 equals 16. So that means 4 would be our answer. But now we're not done. Since 4 times 4 equals 16, and 18 minus 16 equals 2, this 2 is going to have to come up here. We're going to put an R for remainder 2. See, the 2 went up here. Now this is going to be very, very important. So we're going to do several more examples of that. So once again, we're gonna take it easy. We're gonna we're gonna say 3 into 16 again. Why not? So we've got 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 5, and 3 times 6. And once again, I know what I'm looking for, so that's why I stopped at 6. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is 15, and 3 times 6 is 18. Now, 18 is bigger than 16. So that means we can't have that. So that means this whole 3 times 6 is out. So we're going to have to go 1 less to 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So that means that 5 is going to go on top here. But we're not quite finished. So 5 times 3 is 15, as we just said. 16 minus 15 is 1. So, where does that 1 go, guys? Right. That 1 comes right up here. We put an R, 1. Remainder, 1. And that would be your final answer for the problem. Now, when you get up to the later months in 4th grade, and definitely most of 5th grade, you're going to see that a lot of multiplication problems, or a lot of division problems rather, end up having remainders. So I want to prepare you for that now. So we're going to do a 2-digit. But we're going to do a basic 2-digit. 10. So 10 divided into 1. Oh, no. 10 divided into 16. All right. So we probably know without even doing any work what the answer is. But let's look at this. 1 times 10 is 10. And 2 times 10 is 20. But 20 is bigger than 16. So we can't have that. So that wouldn't be our answer. So we have to go down 1. And we have 1 times 10. So we put 1 up here. 1 times 10 is 10. And now we subtract. 16 minus 10 is 6. Now where does that 6 go? Right. The 6 goes right to the top as a remainder. Remainder 6. Alright. So a helpful hint, just a pro tip from Mr. Beatty. If this number is bigger than this number, you have to try again. So I'll say it again. If this number is bigger than this number, then you have to try again. This number should never be bigger than this number. If it is, then you have to try another number up here because your problem is going to be incorrect. Alright guys, so that was the introduction into the division with the remainder. So we'll continue our journey through division, and I'll see you next time. Peace.